Michael Chang taking the court at Ash Stadium for the second semifinal. The winner to play Greg Rosetsky tomorrow for the U.S. Open title. Rafter and Chang coming up. Jim Nantz back with John McEnroe and Mary Carrillo, and Michael Chang is the 2 seed. He's the favorite going into the semifinals with what was left, and he has come through now 2 straight grueling 5-set matches to make it to the semifinals. And what will that mean to him, you think, Mary?
Well, it takes a lot, Jim, for Michael Chang to win matches. He's got to really grub around, counterpunch, throw his heart into it. He has played an awful lot of tennis. Look at all the tennis already in his body. Almost 13 hours of match time, 2.5 hours per match about, and his last 2 matches with the 5-setters, he had to beat Cedric Pioline of France. That was a very, very difficult match. I mean, a very physical effort from both guys, finally decided by Chang. Chang's legs and Chang's heart. Then he had to come back a couple of nights later and play Marcelo Rios, and Rios played one of the great matches of his young career. He too extended Chang to a final 5th set. So as I said, you know, Chang needs to be fresh. He needs to be aggressive with his feet, and that could be a hard thing for him to do.
For Patrick Rafter, it's his second Slam semifinal of the year, and he says he hopes to build on the last one. That was at the French. He was unseated there, John, and many people are talking about how you can compare him to some of the old Australians, and maybe not even that old when we talk about Pat Cash.
Well, I think Mary made a good comparison with Stefan Edberg. Pat Cash is another guy, the traditional, and I'm a sucker for this, Jim. You hear this? Serve and volley on the male side. This is beautiful. Patrick Rafter is a guy who's going to come in whenever he gets the chance. Extremely athletic as netter, as we see here. He's got some good field, excellent hands. He's gotten himself in better condition. He can play from the backcourt, but when given a chance, he will chip and charge off the serve. And you are clearly going to see that today when Patrick Rafter plays Michael Chang.
What does Rafter have to do to win this match?
Well, he's got to get that first serve percentage up. He's got to not let the nerves get in the way, because as we saw about 3-4 days ago against Agassi, he started cramping up in the 4th set. He's very fit, but nerves can do strange things to the body.
And Mary, about Chang, what must he do to win?
Well, again, the physical factor with Chang, I mean, is just about everything. But if Patrick Rafter, as John says, if he's having an off-serving day, you know, you got to like Chang. You know he'll be scrambling all over the place trying to figure out a way to win this thing. He got to the final last year, but Pete Sampras stopped him. Now it's Greg Rosetsky in that final. I mean, John said, beginning of this week, this is the chance of a lifetime for Michael Chang. He knows it every bit as much as we do.
Rafter and Chang for the right to play Rosetsky in the final. The second semi coming up next.
He has 31 singles titles. This is his
Center already being exposed to a 5-set thriller today in the first semifinal, won by Greg Rosetsky from Great Britain by way of Canada. He's in the finals now against the winner of Rafter and Chang.
Semi-final match.
And these 2 met
tie-break sets.
Well, just a little more than 2 weeks ago out on Long Island. Hard court match, and Rafter prevailed in that best of 3 match, 6-1 in the 3rd.
Don't think that match, Jim, has anything to do with this match. That was a warm event that I'm sure Chang was more than happy to get a couple days rest before the start of the U.S. Open. Not saying he didn't give 100%. See, he only gave 100. He gives about 140 here, so it's less of an effort for the young American, born in Hoboken, now living out west. Grew up in California on these hard courts. Very similar to this surface we see there, ranked number 2 in the world. Been around forever, still only 25. Best record on the tour this year, 54-13, 5 titles, a ton of money. Excellent at the U.S. Open.
It's his 3rd U.S. Open semifinal, and
Mary talked about this draw. Fredrickson was easy. Salzenstein was a lot tougher than expected. He's got a future. Sargisi in the NCAA champ, that was easy for him. Pioline, 2-1, 5-2 down, and Marcelo Rios gave him a handful the other night.
Patrick Rafter, the 13th seed here, ranked 14th in the world, and likes to spend some time in Bermuda instead of traveling all the way back home. And beat Andre Agassi among others at this Open.
He had a tough looking draw initially. Medvedev first round was not simple. Magnus Norman had that big win over Sampras at the French. Ivanisevic at Wimbledon destroyed him. Even more of a destruction was Lionel Roux in the third round. Agassi, an exciting match 3-4 nights ago, and Magnus Larsson, relatively easy win for Patrick Rafter there. Now that's digging deep right there. Get that stat out.
Rafter said yesterday, talking to him, that this is a tough match for me because
behind the players.
Michael's not going to overpower you, so you must serve well. Otherwise, he's always putting a lot of pressure on you. If I don't serve well, he's always putting heat on you.
And the better he serves, the more risk and more aggressive he can be off the Chang serve. Rafter supposedly like Bjorkman, who struggles on the forehand side, but once again, I think the fact that the players have been going after Rafter's forehand has helped him improve that shot.
That's impressive. And hands him 4 of his last 7 matches. He's won against top 10 opponents.
Greg Ruzetsky was one of those guys a couple weeks ago in New Haven semifinals, among others.
Rafter will hit the top 10 come Monday when the new rankings come out.
Michael may have been sending a little message there.
15, 30.
Get him off the net.
Get him off the net. I'd use that. I said the other night when Agassi was playing him that he gets awful close. That top spin lob could be effective. He was up there in plenty of time. Try to go after Rafter. Missed it well long. He had an easy shot up the line that he decided not to play.
Regardless of the outcome of this match, Mary, as you pointed out, Rafter will be in the top 10 come Monday, and the last Aussie in the top 10.
He's the biggest heartthrob here. A lot of women think he's been a 10, a perfect 10 for a long time now.
Was the last Australian-born player in the top 10. That was back in 1988.
Well, that's another handsome Aussie. Rafter quickly to break point the first game of the match. Nice boost for him. Ruzetsky's another guy who will be in the top 10. Bjorkman's another guy. And Chang we already know about.
Into Rafter. Break right away to open the match.
A bad start for Michael Chang. 3 unforced errors in that first game. Pressing a little too much in that opener.
15.
And an ace on the first serve, Rafter. To back.
see a lot of that today. I said Chang destroyed me in the 91 U.S. Open with that topspin lob, and he is a good strategist. If he's done any homework at all on Rafter, he sees how close to the net Rafter gets.
Just like Edberg, as we were talking about before. Although Patrick Rafter's serve is bigger than Edberg's ever was. He'll win a lot more points off of his serve. Edberg relied on a serve-volley combo.
Well, Edberg's a classic example of a guy who didn't need to serve as hard. It actually helped him because he was closer to the net by the time the return was struck than most other guys. In my opinion, as we see Rafter put away a beautiful backhand volley like his coach, Tony Roach. This is interesting. Working overtime back in the truck now.
Look how
299 net point won.
And many more ground strokes struck by Michael Chang.
I think we can make it 300 net points won.
I think actually Edberg started losing a little something when he started to hit a harder serve and lost some of that placement. Chang is trying to send Rafter the message that he'll be aggressive when given the chance, so that Rafter can't just sit there and wait for his moment.
Even though it failed him in the first 2 points of the match, he tried to get himself to the net. He missed, but yeah, he's trying to get Rafter off of there, stake out some territory for himself at the net. He has started this match pretty tight. That's his first double fault.
I don't know about you, Mayor, but I've noticed it's been clear since Sampras lost that Chang has tightened up.
Absolutely.
He's the favorite.
He is not in that position at all.
It's the first time you could ever say that Michael Chang was the favorite at a slam.
But his game takes so much work, he always feels like the underdog.
And he absolutely must be feeling some effects from those 2 5-setters. He cannot possibly, if he is a human being, he's got to feel it a little bit.
40.
But he could look to Edberg in 92 and say, hey, Edberg had an amazing run, 5-set wins, so I can do it too. Looking to get on the board at 40-15.
Put him on the board. Rafter up a break in the first set.
Rafter leads 2 games to 1.
Back in the first set, Rafter up a break. In this semifinal, Greg Rosetsky already advancing to the final. The 5-set win over Jonas Bjorkman.
That's a terrific stick save from Patrick Rafter.
50.
Michael Chang likes a target, but he's not going to like having to hit against a target every stinking shot he takes. That is what Rafter will try very much to pose to Chang.
I really first noticed Rafter's incredible net play at the French when he served volleyed, lost to Bugaro, had a real shot there in the semis, and he has really come on in the last 6 months or a year.
Second serve.
Plenty of Aussies have won the French Open serving and volleying, but a serve and volleyer hasn't won there since Yannick Noah did it back in '83.
13.
And it's very important for Rafter to continue to move the serve all around the box, not let Chang find a rhythm off the ground or against return. Norm Christ in the chair.
What's that?
Seems Chang heard an errant beep off the Cyclops. 30 love.
My question is, why can't you hear the player talk to the umpire now? I mean, from what I remember, my day, it was awful clear.
You were a lot more voluble.
Actually, I think you're one of the big reasons why we can't hear the conversation down there anymore.
30, 50.
Actually, that was an ATP rule that was made a couple of years ago because...
The one good rule they made, right there.
That yesterday Rosetsky had laryngitis.
40.
John, I wondered if you'd ever gone into a match without your voice. And how hard was it?
Unfortunately for some fans that may not have been inside, no, never. I wouldn't go on the court if I had laryngitis. It's against my personal rules. A bit of a half-hearted stretch by Rafter because he wasn't sure the pass was going to go in. I think he looked back at his coach, Tony Rios, to ask, hey, would this have gone in? And the answer is yes. So it was a good idea to try to knock off that volley. He's still got a point for 3-1 at 43rd.
Game, Rafter.
3-1.
Rafter leads 3 games to 1.
Patrick Rafter is one of 9 kids. He's number 7 in line. From a small mining town called Mount Isa, a blue-collar town in the Queensland outback. And his whole family is very much involved in his career. His brother Steven is his manager. He's the oldest. And for a time, another one of his brothers, Jeff, coached him and traveled with him. And he's had Bob Nailbags Carmichael coaching, and Tony Roach works with him part of the year as well. An awful lot of good Aussies have contributed to this man's classic Australian serve-and-volley style.
Love, 50.
Well, Rafter gets a short ball, and he comes. This is not unexpected. What is a slightly unexpected is Chang. It looks like he's struggling a little bit with his movement. I don't care how often Chang comes to net, his opponent's not going to be as fearful as when you see one of these big guys charge him. He's not a tall man at 5'9". He leaves only so much of the court he can cover. So he better hit a big approach. Not big enough there for Patrick Rafter at love 30 now.
Mary, you saw Michael Chang's fatigue up close Thursday night when he came into the studio for the highlight show.
It was really something to see. Here's Chang. He's just finished playing a 5-setter against Marcelo Rios. He was trying to cool down, and as he was speaking with us, he was pounding against his own legs to keep them from cramping. Then he had to stand up during the interview. Voice cracking at times.
If he's got time to line up this forehand, watch out, Patrick Rafter. He mishits that backhand. Chang is all over it.
Chang is trying to be aggressive, but the winners are coming off the Rafter racket.
40.
That's a nice 119-mile-an-hour serve from Michael Chang. He's really tried to beef up his serve, try to get some cheaper points from that area in the last several years, and that's a good example of it. Of course, his serving percentage dips pretty low at times, and that hurts him.
Game, Chang. Rafter leads.
Chang holds, but Rafter leads 3-2 in the first. Early impressions of this match, Mary.
I think Chang is up against it. I mean, Patrick Rafter has come out and played
Seats quickly
he's
behind the
posed a
players.
very solid problem for Chang.
John?
Chang's clearly nervous, so he's clearly going to pick it up. Rafters could have asked for a better start, but we got a long way to go here. I still like Chang. I'm not going to give up on Chang yet. It's maybe at 2-1, 5-love, 40-love. I won't give up on him.
Love, 15.
Talk about Patrick Rafter's very large family. He's got a mom, Jocelyn, who used to enter him into tournaments when he was first coming on. She'd call up the ATP office and say, you know, what can my boy play? You know, where can he go? That stays in. Kind of curls its way back in the court. An awful lot of wind down there.
Yeah.
And in that instance, it really helped Michael Chang's return.
Certainly looked wind-aided, didn't it?
That's the type of serve Rafter wants to hit. Force Chang to hit that one-hander, but well handled by Michael. 2 good returns, love 30.
Rafter, when he was playing one of his very first Wimbledons, it turns out he was going to play his first match on center court. His mom went to the hairdresser in Brisbane, flew 21 hours to watch the match, and he lost.
If she had a little more experience, she would have waited to get to England before the hairdresser. Don't fly 21 hours and then and then expect the hair to be in good shape.
Well,
And then she flew home.
Boy.
You add up that round trip ticket plus the hair job. I don't know, but it was worth it.
Chang with a chance to break. 2 chances.
Chang has returned just like Michael Chang this game. Rafter once again trying to go out wide. Chang looking like Jonas Bjorkman there, taking it nice and early inside the baseline. 2 break points. The good news for the Rafter family, Mary, is even if he loses here, he'll still pocket 175 G's. That'd pay for a couple hairstyles.
And round trips to London. Jocelyn and Jim, his parents, back home watching on television.
Wow, that was the hardest serve I've ever seen Rafter hit. Right there.
129 for his 3rd ace. Chang still with a break point.
And that's what Rafter needs to do. Like we saw before, Greg Ruzetsky mix up the pace and the spins. That one was 94. The other one 129. It's tough on a returner when you have to deal with that.
That's a tremendous serve into the body. I mean, Rafter is really giving Chang a lot of looks on the serve. And Chang did a good job just to spit this ball back somehow.
Ball's in. What a get by Rafter.
Wind is certainly becoming part of the story. And let's go down to Andrea Joyce. Andrea?
All right, Jim, we're down here with Wayne Gretzky from the New York Rangers, getting ready to start training camp on Tuesday. What's it going to be like without Mark Messier?
Well, it's a big adjustment for all of us, not only the players, but obviously all the fans in New York. But, you know, life goes on, and we like our hockey team, and, you know, it's going to be disappointing without him, but we look forward to a good year.
Out here watching the tennis, when you look at a guy like Michael Chang, what kind of hockey player do you think he'd make?
Probably pretty good. He's got a lot of fight in him, a lot of grit, and obviously he's in great shape. A all these guys have great hand-eye coordination, obviously, to be as good as they are. So I'm sure a lot of them could be great hockey players.
We at CBS, of course, are looking forward to professionals in the Olympics this year. How about that? I mean, in '98, actually.
Well, it's going to be exciting for all of hockey, and I think that, you know, it's a time for the NHL to really expand and grow. And with hockey getting so much bigger now, I think this is a great opportunity not only for the NHL but for all of hockey.
All right, thanks so much. Good luck this season. Back to you guys.
Well, that's why it's so much fun to see guys aggressive serve volley attacking players against the classic counter punches, because shots like this are what we get to look at.
30 love.
Only Michael Chang can successfully slide on hard courts. It's incredible.
14.
Love game for Chang. 4-3 Rafter. First set.
Rafter leads 14-3. Ball change.
Chang seems to be picking up a little steam, but he's down a break in the first set.
His early nerves seem to be gone. Remember, he had 3 unforced errors in the opening game where he got busted. Now he's only had 2 since.
15 love.
Rafter has those new balls. You notice how that ball spun away from Chang, unable to handle that first serve return. I don't know about that call. Very close. Norm Chris says he didn't clearly say an over. Let's take a look. I don't know. The Mac, for the first time, the Mac cam chokes, can't come up with the answer. So I always thought if in doubt, you call it in. I don't see how that linesman saw it clearly out. Norm Chris says it was not a clear mistake.
Normally, cameras such as the Visine Mac camera used for research and development plus engineering and manufacturing troubleshooting. But it's become popular thanks to you and this tournament.
The check's not in the mail.
You've been out here for 2 straight weeks around the clock. You haven't been home to check your mail.
14.
Well, 2 o'clock tomorrow, the final day of the U.S. Open, and I think a good move by the USTA to have the women's and men's the same day. Interesting change.
Chang is starting to get a little nervous that he's not going to be getting any of these calls. But I think he might have been in front of that lineswoman a little bit, and that's why there was a bit of a delay.
There was no question. This wasn't close.
(40-15).
It looked perfect. I don't know if he meant it, but got the job done.
Rafter leads 5 games.
Aerial views coming from our 8-ton, 200-foot-long Fujifilm blimp.
He's in reverse.
Fill up those seats up top.
Dropping in for a visit. 5-3 Rafter.
Got away with that shot. so well, having such a good feel for the wheel up there. Rafter, this thing sat up and gave Chang a chance to really break open the point, but Rafter, another good save at the net. Through 5 rounds, Rafter's been averaging 91 visits to the net against Chang's 18. But again, the battle lines are clearly drawn here.
I'm still trying to get over the fact that Rangers got rid of Messi. That we talk about a lame move. He's one of the greatest players in hockey history. Toss him out because God forbid he wanted a 2-year deal. Well, it's their loss.
And Gretzky's.
Absolutely. Talk about a leader. Well, that was one of the great leaders in team sports, still is, and that's why the Canucks are happy to have him. And Patrick Rafter, who knows what it's like to be a team player with all those brothers and sisters, Wayne and Janet, his wife. 2 points from this first set.
To dispute that call.
Well, take a look from behind. It looked to me like it was a little bit wide. Not by much, but enough to call this set point for Patrick Rafter.
Chang stayed in. He wants so badly to be aggressive off that wing. Sometimes he goes for a big take back and a lot of juice on the ball. He wants to take a big cut at a lot of these shots. Sometimes he presses too much, just like on his serve when he tries to go for a little too much.
Advantage Rafter.
That was well out, no question about that, and another set point now for the Aussie Patrick Rafter.
That clearly comes, Mary, from Michael being 5'9", though. So many guys getting bigger in the sport, the average height. He wants to prove he's hit just as hard as they can. It's a fine line between not making too many mistakes and that low first serve percentage that he's historically had since he's gone to the bigger rack and supposedly hit the serve so much harder.
So much that he had grown more in height. I mean, you got to wonder what a couple of more inches could have meant to his career. I mean, nobody has worked as hard as Michael Chang to get where he is. But he is playing, it's like he's playing in a different division from so many of the men he faces.
He's been an inch or two bigger, he's been Jimmy Connors.
That was long.
Advantage, Rafter.
It's interesting you say that, John, as Chang tries to stare down another set point. Connors, when asked years ago which young player he likes to play, which of the active players, he said, give me Chang. Because he liked his fighting spirit so much.
Set point number 3. And he'll serve to start the second set. We'll be back to the U.S. Open after this message and a word from your local station. Wanted to dispute this 1 point, that set point.
It was clearly in, and it suggests to me, Michael Chang is very edgy.
Quickly, please.
He's been questioning calls that he normally doesn't. He'll give a stare down, but this suggests to me he's still very nervous about this match. He's been questioning so many calls.
And now the shadow's starting to encroach at Ash Stadium. And what does that do to a player, John?
Well, this is the part, we've seen this on the grandstand, and there's a period of time for a half hour, 45 minutes where it's extremely difficult to pick up a serve, a Rafter serve. Let's hope that the shade comes across the court as quickly as possible so the level of play will increase. There's an example right there. I bet you it was tougher for Chang to pick up that serve. It's just like wind. It's going to be an equalizer. Rafter's first serve percentage won him that set, along with some excellent athletic play at net and Michael's surprisingly tight play so far. This is when you know you're out of the point. You try shots like this. The prayer. Michael's prayer not answered there. First double fault for Rafter. Rosetsky already advanced to the final, even with flu-like symptoms. He credited afterwards a doctor that he went to see was here today also by his side. Pavarotti's doctor says he has no concerns about his health for tomorrow whatsoever. Well, he must have more than laryngitis. He's not going to sing opera later, is he? I mean,
sounded fine. I didn't hear any voice problems.
that's the shot that Chang should have hit there. That will wake Rafter up. Rafter's got that tremendous athletic ability, stretching, getting himself ready. He had one right here, stretches again, but this time look where Chang goes. He's lucky he didn't get hit there. Smart play by the American. 2 break points. First game of the second set.
Deuce.
One of the reasons Michael Chang took up tennis is because as a little kid he was watching a baseball game, saw a batter get beamed, and was just horrified by the whole idea of it. Decided to play a sport where even if you get hit, you can't get hurt. Fine service placement, 117 down the tee. Makes it deuce.
Is that Bennett Tony Canigliaro beating? Because they did a special on another. I think it was. I can't remember what it was recently, and that was one sad story.
That was awful. Tony C actually came back for a while after that and died tragically.
Second double.
I think Rafter's service toss is drifting a little bit in this game. I think he's chasing after tosses that he might just catch and start over again. Seems to be getting behind him a little bit and off too far to his left.
He's trying to put that little extra kick out wide of the Chang backhand. Put him in trouble. You don't want to get away from what you're comfortable with. That's what he's comfortable with. That Tony Roach backhand volley, just very similar to Tony. Throws that ball up pretty high, and as Mary pointed out, it's very important to have that ball in front of him. So he'd be well on his way to the net where he can put away volleys like he just did. All that weight iron pumping he's done has paid off. Tony Roach on the right there.
There's that toss again, getting away from him.
Well, he must have been listening to you, Mary. He decided not to hit that one. Second serve. That's a pretty big second serve, I'll tell you.
First game, second set.
Hard-earned hold. First game, the second set to Rafter. Chang had his chances to break to open up the second set, but Rafter holds. Rafter's been a five-time finalist this year, but hasn't won any tournaments. Made it to the French semis as an unseeded player.
He was talking to you, Jim, about how he's been on his own a lot this year, and he feels that's improved his game. That's interesting.
Clearly, to me, Chang looks a little sluggish out there, as well as nervous. He's not moving as well as he normally does. Previous point, he was right there for that forehand, missed it well wide, and this time, Rafter chip charges and gets an easy put away.
And it's left 30.
He reacted late to that, as well as moving a little sluggishly, and that's a sign of nerves as well.
15.
You'll probably see him start going for bigger serves. Get a little desperate here.
Rafter's brother Jeff traveled with him last year, but this year he's virtually gone alone, and he said it's really made him a better player. He's grown up, making his own decisions. Credits that for his improvement too on the court.
Michael Chang with the second effort to keep a point alive, but Patrick Rafter worked very, very
15,
hard
14.
to get the ball back and draws the error from Chang. This is a tremendous effort from the backcourt. Patrick Rafter beefing up his ground game in the last several years.
Chang looked surprised that ball was coming back. I mean, he obviously saw it coming. I don't know why he prepared so late for that.
2 break points for Rafter.
assume, Jim, that Rafter didn't tell his brothers that he's improved since they've not been around.
They
I don't know
weren't-
how well they take that.
They weren't within earshot range when he said it.
Kicking all those Raptors loose.
30.
It is kind of unusual, though, in tennis. So many people like to surround themselves with a support group. And, of course, his players' box is full today. But in a great many tournaments this year, he's just been alone. And he couldn't stress how important that's been, just being alone.
Well, one of 9 children. I mean, he's been part of a herd
Please,
for so
let me
long.
be alone.
Yeah.
He's got the slams where Tony Roach comes, the Davis Cup, so automatically that's 10, 12 weeks. Chang would like to have that volley back. Patrick over here.
Going to get a good shot at Chang.
Deuce.
I'll tell you what he's doing is getting a little bit of rest, which is a good idea. This was a very makeable shot by Michael, first of all. He gives Rafter one more chance, and Rafter had that one lined up. That would have been for an early break in the second set.
Oh, yes.
It's a testament to Rafter's physical
Advantage. Rafter.
fitness. I mean, that he is able to just muscle some of these balls back. 2 of 6 for
Chang
Rafter.
laughed there, but I guarantee you he didn't think that miss-hit forehand was winner was all that funny to him. A break point again for Rafter. There it is.
He's not amused by that either. 2-love. Rafter already up a set, and now a break in the second.
Rafter leads.
This is like the big guy playing the little guy right now. Rafter is just too athletic, and he's showing the second effort we see from Michael Chang. He is looking awful good now to get it to his first Grand Slam final.
Carl Chang, Michael's brother.
Some interesting things have happened in the last couple of years in Patrick Rafter's life. He has a couple of injuries that dropped his top 20 ranking down 40 spots. So he had to do a lot of rehab. In fact, he's playing now with a tender shoulder. Tired from all this hard court summer he's played.
He said he's still bothering him.
It
I'm
is.
like, God, just give me that shoulder problem. The guy is playing better than ever. Doesn't look like his shoulder's bothering him in this event.
But what else
13.
happened in the time the last couple of years when Rafter has had to come back, Mark Philippoussis has come up. His profile got so big in Australia that Patrick Rafter was able to come back and quietly work his way back from the wings. So the pressure was off of Rafter. All the pressure was put on Philippoussis, and Patrick has really thrived in that climate.
Philippoussis in the middle, flanked by Rafter brothers.
He got away with one there. That toss is positively Brian Teacher and Peter Fleming like there. Way to the left. They had a long-standing ability to throw those tosses all over the place.
Throw their backs out. Oh, that is just wonderful.
Game. Rafter.
A wonderful start. 6-3, 3-love.
Watch how quick Patrick Rafter reacts to this. First to have the quick volley there, and Rafter in full command. We'll be right back.
Even with Rafter's semifinal appearance at the French, I asked him yesterday about so many people discovering him here at the Open this week, and what's it like to be coming out as maybe a future star in tennis. He said, I think I'm maybe a little old for that. And he has been around for a while. He's going to be 25 in December, almost the same age as Chang.
matches.
The bad news for Michael Chang, apart from having dropped the last 5 games, Rafter continues to get stronger at the net as the match goes on. He's now 9 of 12 from here in set 2.
Well, as an old serve-volleyer, an attacking player, it is a pleasure to watch a guy doing it this well right now. He's got tons of momentum.
Thank you.
And Chang has tried to hit through him, hit around him, get it over him.
Everything is countered.
50.
Jammed him there. But it's going to be a tough day for Michael Chang, who, I agree with you, John. I mean, he just seems a fraction of a second off his normal pace, and Rafter's making Michael look slow. That's not easy to do.
Sometimes when you play a couple tough matches leading into a match like this, it takes a while actually for the legs to get going. He may actually start to get going shortly. It's about a set and a half in. Sometimes it takes a couple sets. He should be happy. It is a best of 5 set match today. That was a long, tough point that he came away with. Nice backhand winner there. Just clipped the line.
Amazing he was able to keep Rafter on the baseline. That squirted right off the sideline.
30 all.
And that's actually, it's hard to believe I'm saying this, but he was not prepared to hit that stroke, which is unheard of for Chang. He actually stood there thinking it was going to go out. He should have gotten ready anyway, and then the ball skidded on the line. He had no chance.
Too late. 30 all. Absolutely on, and he has another break point.
And it doesn't just, we talk about how much tennis Chang has already played to get here.
30.
Not only does this fatigue your body, but this causes a fatigued mind to know that this guy's going to be in your face every single point he possibly can. That lonely baseline exchange, that long conversation they had a couple of points ago is gone now. Rafter doesn't want any more of them.
Really a smart play by both players there. Rafter trying to force him forward. Chang handling that situation well there because Rafter was looking for the second break. To go up 4 loves, instead back to deuce.
It's a fair question to ask. Is he worn out? Although he had the last word on yet another baseline rally. He would love to turn this into a running match. As tired as he is, that's his best chance to win.
Game. Chang.
Chang's first game of the second set. Next Saturday, CBS kicks off its football season. Most will see Arizona State against Miami. It all gets started 3 o'clock Eastern time with college football today. Tennessee Up 21 on UCLA out on the coast. Peyton Manning already 19 of 28, 242 yards and 2 touchdown passes. And Notre Dame trails in the 4th quarter to Georgia Tech.
Not the Fighting Irish, no.
15.
John, that brightens you up
My
a bit.
brief alma mater for a year.
Well, you're going into the Hall of Fame out there, right?
Actually, I am. Thank you for bringing that up. A couple weeks' time, they're going to throw me a bone. With the help of Dick Gould, whose record at Stanford is phenomenal.
Well, you made the semifinals at Wimbledon before you even attended school at Stanford.
I thought I was this big shot, and none of the women didn't even know my name when I got there.
Starting to
So
sound like Jeff Tarango.
made me hungry.
Mary,
get out of here
no,
right
not
now.
Jeff, no.
You're fired.
I mean, Justin Gimmel stuff.
Well,
That's what he's always talking about.
well, that's what most 20-year-olds talk about.
Your kid brother Patrick spent a little bit more time at Stanford than you did. He played there 4 years.
Graduate.
Sorry. Again, that toss drifting on Patrick Rafter. Good idea to catch those because he was chasing after some of them earlier.
And what a forehand volley. Man. That was one of the better returns Chang has hit today. And Rafter just strolls in. See, he keeps that racket in front of him. He just punches at it. It's like as if you didn't have the racket, it was a short little
Jab
body
stroke.
punch.
Yeah.
Perfectly done by Rafter. 40 love. Keep that wrist nice and firm, and you may hit a volley one day like this Aussie, Patrick Rafter, who's the best in the business at the net.
It's 40-15.
Game.
And now 4-1.
Struck the lead.
Jim Nance, Mary Carrillo. Crowd trying to get Michael Chang going here. He's already lost the first set 6-3.
Wait, please.
Serving at 1-4 in the second.
He needs the crowd to get him going right now, Jim.
Patrick McEnroe now in the booth. We made a McEnroe change.
My brother had to go to the bathroom for a quick little break, so he said, could he just pop in for a second? I said, okay.
What have been your thoughts of this match to this point?
Well, I think Rafter's playing at the top of his game, and I think sometimes what happens to Michael Chang sometimes what happens to Chang is when he gets to the end of the tournament, he gets up against a guy who's hot. Now, consistently, Michael Chang might beat him, but when that guy plays at this highest level possible, they can actually overpower Chang a little bit. I think that's what's happening a bit to him in big matches in his career.
And Chang's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, he can't take his game to that next level like a lot of guys can.
Yeah.
30-15.
Speaking about somewhere to go, Mary, Patrick Rafter's going places where he's never been before.
That could be to the final of a Grand Slam event tomorrow. He's made it to the semis before of a slam. That was at the French earlier this year, unseeded. Here he's the 13th seed.
40-15.
What kind of star appeal do you think he could bring to the game?
I think he's bringing a lot. I've seen him play all summer long, and and just in the tennis world, and people have been behind him incredibly. And now we're seeing him on the biggest stage of all.
4-2 Rafter as Chang holds serve, and let's go back down to Andrea Joyce.
All right, Jim, we're with Tom Gullickson, the captain of the Davis Cup team, and this is a preview of a match we'll see later this month when the U.S. faces Australia in the semifinals of the Davis Cup in Washington, D.C. What do you think of what you've seen so far? Rafter's pretty tough.
Well, Patrick's having a good day so far, but, Michael, he's won his last 2 matches in 5 sets, so he's not adverse to going the distance.
How much do you think that's affecting him today? Do you get the sense that he's a little worn out?
Well, he did look a step slow that first set, but this is really the first true serve and volley he's played, so Rafter's really done a great job of taking his time away from him, really rushing him.
But you wouldn't count Chang out from what you've seen?
No, I wouldn't count Michael out at all. He's a great competitor, and he's been in a lot of tough situations before, so he's only 1 breakdown here. Maybe he can sneak a break and get back in the match.
We haven't seen anybody leave yet. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Andrea. Only John McEnroe has left, but he should be back shortly.
In fact, here he is. He's back, so thanks, guys, for having me. I got to head back down to the studio. The way Rafter's playing, we could be over in a heartbeat.
All right, Patrick. Little doubles action from the McEnroes.
Jim, you were supposed to come back and just say, we're back with Nance, Carrillo, McEnroe. The game was supposed to go by, and we're going to see if anyone can tell the difference in our voices. And I also want to get, by the way, Patrick, some of that gel you've been using in your hair.
Patrick, he's been talking about that all day. We're all gelled up today.
The problem I have is I don't have quite as much hair as he's got.
Little follically impaired, huh?
You know how it is. Well, actually, you don't know how it is, fortunately.
I kind of do. On my way.
14.
Here's one of my 7 or 8 brothers and sisters.
I thought the rule is you have to be from Douglas and Queens to be in this booth.
Yeah, Jim, you're out of here.
Hey, Coltsneck, New Jersey. Does that not work? No?
Nope.
We got to get Ellsworth Kelly back in. Play-by-play. That's an inside joke.
Look at this. Love game for Rafter. He's a game away from the second set. Up 5-2. We'll be back after this message and a word from your local station. Patrick Rafter, 6-3 in the first. Leads 5-2 in the second. Chang's serve.
Rafter serving at 66% for the match. He is playing first-class tennis, dominating the number 2 seed, 2-5 second set. Chang's got a dilemma here. What to do? What's the game plan now against Rafter? He's got to hope Rafter starts feeling some nerves and starts getting tight himself, maybe cramping up. But at the moment, he's nowhere near that. And can he hang in there long enough?
Rafter said that playing on this court against Agassi this week, he started to feel the nerves come on. And he said he just slowed himself down and said, you know what? I don't know how many times I'm going to get to a spot like this. I've just got to savor the moment. And he said it brought a sense of calm to me.
That in his 90% first serve percentage in the 4th set. Didn't hurt. Just long there.
Is it a camera? Yeah. You see that? It's that shiny thing. I have no idea what it is. I think it's one of the cameras.
I think Pat Patrick Rafter is complaining about a reflection coming off of one of the cameras at courtside.
He's not complaining about that call. He knows that forehand was long.
Second serve, 40-15. Oh,
40. How often do you see Chang shaking his head? Like, what am I going to do?
a lot today, though, huh?
Well, he's been questioning a lot of calls, sort of taking some long stares, but this is strictly in regard to the way he's been playing. That disgusted look there. Point for 5-3 for Chang.
Rafter now is within 2 points of taking the second set.
It's almost too easy. Is that possible? Chip charge. Nice deep approach. Chang well off the court, and he knows that maybe he doesn't have to go quite as much, cut it quite as perfectly as he may normally have against Chang, because Chang is sluggish.
Rafter at the net 3 times more than Chang. 69% efficiency. Michael got the big serve that time.
And surprisingly, Chang has had an excellent day, percentage-wise, 66% for the match. Shows you how well the young Aussie has done today against Michael Chang. Incredible display. Can he keep it up for 3 sets?
Game to Chang, 5-3 Rafter. Will now serve for the second set. Talking about total match victories on the year.
Well,
Chang
you don't
and
expect
Rafter
those
won
names,
too.
do you?
And look, Bjorkman, another semifinalist, third.
Rios had that great match against Chang last round. Moya, unfortunately, had a shoulder problem, lost first round here.
Talking about at the limit. If Chang doesn't break here, he's going to have to go 5 sets again. The 3rd straight match to win.
That was right off of the baseline. A tremendous lob from Michael Chang. As his family watches on.
This is the shot I think he should utilize more. We haven't seen a lot of it. He's had some success. I saw that when Rafter played Agassi, and among others, that he likes to get awful close. No doubt about that call.
Rafter watched that one with great concern.
Kept cool beautifully on that first volley. Didn't go for too much. Just put a nice deep forehand volley to the just inside both lines. 2 points from the second set.
Two set points now.
40-50.
To take set 2. 6th of the match for Rafter. 6-3, 6-3.
And now this tournament summary, sponsored by number 5 and Allure, Irresistible Chanel Fragrances.
Tournament summary. Greg Rosetsky going to the final at a Grand Slam for the first time after his 5-set victory today. Hingis and Williams. Hingis at age 16, Williams at 17. Youngest combined Grand Slam finalist in the Open era. You'll see it tomorrow at 2 o'clock here on CBS. And we'll have an unseeded player in the final like all the other slams this season. Going to a 3rd set, Rafter upending the number 2 seed, Michael Chang, through the first 2 sets.
The glare seems to be coming. This is from the luxury suites. That is a reflection that has been bothering Patrick Rafter. What are you going to do about that?
Vintage Chang there.
What can you say? This is just tremendous, tremendous effort by Chang, and this is going to get the crowd on his side, that's for sure.
Chang didn't say anything. He expressed his feelings aerobically. He's trying to get the crowd into this. He needs help.
Chang has rallied from 2 sets down 6 times in his career, including 4 times in Grand Slams.
That's a lot of time. There's not too many guys that are even close to that.
Tim Wilkison, 88 Open, came from 2 sets down.
Don't remind these guys.
Sparrow. Embarrassment. I was going to say the only way you can fix that reflection is maybe hang some curtains, but I don't think it's curtain
I don't
time
think the people
yet.
in the skyboxes can afford those curtains.
This problem doesn't come up at Wrigley Field.
The scary thing is all the people are inside watching it on TV.
Pretty powerful message right there. Michael Chang takes the first game of the 3rd set. He's not finished. Grand Slam victory. That's the '89 French Open. I asked him yesterday, do you need a second one in your career to kind of validate your career? He said, I don't need another one. End of my career, just want to say that I gave it my all. If my all is 1 Grand Slam title, I'll be satisfied.
Well, he's gotten the crowd twice as into it. That's the first step. Now he's trying to step inside the baseline for the Rafter first serve. That may not be quite as successful, although give Chang credit for trying something different. Quickly goes back to a few feet behind the baseline, but moves in quick. He's looking to take that ball real early now, trying to intimidate Rafter, get some free points here early in the 3rd set.
Sense a little momentum swing here, Mary?
Well, this is Patrick Rafter had dealt with this when he had to play Andre Agassi in the night match earlier this week. I mean, Agassi came on, took that 3rd set, and all of a sudden Rafter, you know, took some deep breaths and got himself back together again. So he has fought off this kind of a charge before in this event.
He also cramped, though, so
it took something out of him to fight off his nerves and the moment.
And this crowd would like to see 3 more sets of tennis. Thank you. Another 5-setter to finish off this men's semifinal day. A good low return. Rafter would have liked to have been a step or 2 closer for that volley. Now 15-30.
Chang steps in.
Take a look at those quick little steps. Short backswing. Beautiful backhand winner up the line. He's got 2 break points. Rafter's come up with some huge serves. The 4 break points he's been down so far. That's 5 he saved now. 1 more chance for Chang.
7 aces.
If Rafter can shut down Chang after all the momentum Chang has gained, I mean, that is really saying a lot. Michael hit his 2 best shots in that last game. Everyone's pumped up. And Rafter calmly, but very purposefully, gets in 2 terrific serves. Lucky, that was a let cord, lucky for Rafter.
Trying to make a little shortstop play in the hole there.
Chang still looking for the break.
You said it, Mary, coming back so calmly after Chang's big moment.
And if
first game of this set, and then up 2 break points in this game.
And if Chang can be left looking after this great display of tennis from him these last few games, that might dispirit even him.
Wait. Let's not go over.
Okay.
This is, this is not your average Joe here.
He does not depress easily. I'm the first to admit that. These are major moments for Michael Chang.
I'll tell you, Mark Philippoussis, who's watching Patrick Rafter take a page out of Rafter's book, he's serving harder than I've ever seen it, but he's placing and mixing up his serves beautifully.
Big game for Rafter. 1-all in the 3rd. Welcome home to America's Night of Television tonight on CBS. Don't miss the CBS special, A Farewell to Diana, followed by Early Edition and Walker, Texas Ranger. It all starts at 8 Eastern right here on CBS. Philippoussis in the middle there, making a few mental notes, you think?
Well, I hope. I wouldn't bet on it yet, but I think he's starting to realize that he's got to dedicate himself a little bit more to this game.
That's what the buzz is on the Aussie side, that Mark Philippoussis really has to get back to training harder.
Actually, Mayor, I think the fact that Rafter's now come on so strongly and taken away some of the pressure from Philippoussis may help him.
Philippoussis eliminated in a 3rd round match to by Daniel Vacek, straight sets. Philippoussis was the 14th seed. Seated right behind his fellow countryman Rafter.
Rafter's clearly had the better year. Cemented it at this event here.
30.
Interesting that the Davis Cup semifinal is just around the corner between the U.S. and Australia, and these 2 on the court will be facing each other. Michael Chang agreeing to play in Davis Cup play. He has not done a lot of that in the last couple of years. That event is in D.C. next weekend, and it is sold out. Also playing, of course, the Woodies playing doubles for Australia. Even though they lost in the first round here, everyone is assuming they would still play Davis Cup dubs. Nicely done. Chang couldn't even go for that cold return winner from Rafter. Pete Sampras is playing. Jim Curry are also on the team. And Alex O'Brien also named.
Game to Chang. Set number 3. First 2 sets to Rafter. To the Unisphere for Mr. McEnroe to point out where Patrick Rafter's from.
Right around there.
Little spot in the outback Queensland. I hope the Aussies are going mad at me if I'm a little bit off, but Australia is almost the size of the United States with about the 10th the population.
It's amazing what you did with that 1 year as a geography major at Stanford.
I actually was underwater basket weaving.
Now this is Stanford we're talking about.
Got to find the right courses that first year.
Sidestepped it. Misjudged it.
No doubt it was in clearly. Clearly in there on the Mac cam.
Izine Mac cam confirms. Instant super slow playback at 1/500th second. About how long it took for Chang to decide to blow that return past Rafter, but 40-15 here in the 3rd set. First 2 sets to the Australian 6-3, 6-3. Serving at 1-2. To complete our coverage of this semifinal Saturday. The red, white, and green Fujifilm blimp providing our aerial views. Two apiece.
50. Well, at least Chang has the luxury of having served first. 3rd set. Put a little bit more pressure on Rafter. Try to make him realize where he is. Semifinals of the U.S. Open, playing the number 2 player in the world. It doesn't seem like Rafter's feeling the pressure quite yet. The net paid the price for being a little lazy there, Michael. Should not miss a shot like that. I'm sorry, Jay.
How many times have you said that about Michael?
More often in this match than I've said probably in his entire career, probably. magazine Mac cam out now.
Here you go, John. At your request.
Clearly out.
Went by so quick.
So
There it
fast.
comes. Oh, he hit it hard. That was 1/500th of a second.
We got to get 1/1,000,000th of a
there.
second to see it now.
Michael Chang had the entire court to play with.
Rafter was walking to switch sides.
Yeah, it was over. That point was over.
Plus the ball was going out.
Yep.
The Chang hit.
He played it out. That's probably why he missed it. Deciding at the last second to stick his racket out. He nets it.
40-30.
So it's unusual to see sloppy thinking from Michael.
That's a sign of fatigue.
Chang on serve in the third set.
Chang leads 3-2.
Dance with John McEnroe, Mary Carrillo. Chang down 2 sets. We're on serve in the third. The winner to play, Greg Rosetsky, in the final tomorrow. Championship Sunday, 2 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS. Volley winners 22 for Rafter.
Clearly feels he needs to take the ball earlier so that Rafter's not as close to the net as he's been throughout this match. And that'll get the job done there. Inside out backhand winner. Rafter at 30-15. Right there. Instead of Michael moving sideways, he moved forward at an angle. So he was able to cut that ball off just in the nick of time, and Rafter had no chance. You better have excellent hand-eye coordination if you want to attempt what Michael's doing here right now. That's right.
And a chance for a break.
Smart play by Chang there.
Rafter walking off, giving himself plenty of time. Chang has still not broken Rafter.
So he's going for the middle, of course. If he catches it a little late, turns into a winner. Break point chance for Michael Chang.
Second time in a row, Rafter has tried to jam Chang. Chang got out of his own way for a winner on the deuce side. Now a second serve.
Jammed him a little.
Well, Rafter put a little bit more mustard, a little more spin. And Michael waited on it just a touch. Wasn't as aggressive as he was those previous returns. And that's all it takes.
That's a hanging curveball that Rafter missed there.
Advantage Chang.
He had plenty of time to think about it. Kept waiting. Wasn't as aggressive as he normally been, and comes up with the error.
This is the 8th break point of the match for Chang. He hasn't converted once.
Mile-an-hour ace brings it back to deuce.
There's nothing Michael can do here. He's inside the baseline. If a guy hits a serve that hard, almost impossible to return that. A couple tremendous serves from Rafter at some big points with a lot of pace. This is more pace than I've ever seen Rafter hit with. That serve out wide. That's 112. That's
going wide. That's very big.
That's about 5-10 miles what it normally be, and this is just another one that is just almost impossible for anyone to get back.
Advantage Rafter.
That is an incredibly nimble serving performance from Patrick Rafter. Time and again in this championship, he's been able to thoughtfully serve his way out of trouble. He's done it again.
All in the third. Rafter won the first 2 sets.
15 left.
Second ace for Chang.
Chang can only have ungrudging admiration for Patrick Rafter playing at the height of his powers.
Well, he's improved his volley and Mary over the years, but that was a volley he should have put away.
Chang begging for an overroll from Norm Christ in the chair.
Wynn was playing a little havoc with those shots, Jim. Good deep approach. Couldn't quite get around that there. Then the backhand overhead, backhand volley puts that away. Chang did have a chance there to pass Rafter. Couldn't come up with the goods. 15-30 now.
Do you think Chang is dispirited by the last game where he had the chance to break?
Well, he's had a couple chances this set. It's tough to stay positive under those circumstances. Michael's about as positive a guy as you're going to get, but Rafter is playing extremely well.
Talk about positive.
2 break points for Rafter. He's up a break in the third. Trying to close out Chang in straight sets. Chang down 2 sets and the break in the third.
Michael Chang praying for some divine intervention on that last changeover against Marcelo Rios before that match. He said he called his relatives to pray for him. He's a very deeply devoted man. Because he said he had never felt so nervous in his life. The whole idea that Pete Sampras is out, that this is the chance of a lifetime for him, has really been working on his head. And he's been seeking solace in his faith.
Mary, we saw him during the first semifinal outside signing autographs. He signs every autograph. Jesus loves you, Chang.
I know. He doesn't believe me. And he writes neatly, too.
He's the Evander Holyfield of the tennis world. And it's done a pretty good job for Evander. Two tight volleys from Rafter and quickly loves 30.
Well, he's been so close, it seems, to breaking Patrick Rafter. And
Rafter's got some new balls to serve, so the balls are a little smaller, and he's lost the feel for them.
And heaven knows Chang will keep trying.
In that case, it helped his serve. A little bit more pop. Return winner for Patrick Rafter.
These two have played 160 points. Rafter has been into the net 82 times. He's played more than half the points of this match up there. No wonder. I mean, that concussive effect over time can get to even Chang.
Especially when you serve at 65% for the match and move and volley the way Rafter's done today. Fantastic job by the Aussie. Second serve. We heard Pete Samuels talk about it at Wimbledon quite often, how important the second serve was. And Rafter against Agassi and today as well against Chang has really helped his cause with some excellent second serves. Just like that last point, 30-all.
We were lucky enough, John, to both be coached by the late great Harry Hopman, the fine Australian coach, and I can't tell you how many times he used to say, how would you rather play a match? Trying to volley winners or try to hit passing shots? And obviously, you want to be the court position is at the net. And it is remarkable how many times Michael Chang has denied net rushers.
40.
And won extremely tough matches by continuing to put the return to serve pressure and the passing pressure on his opponents. But on this day, Patrick Rafter seems very much up to the challenge.
He's got a game point right here after being down love 30.
Well, if you ask the top 100 pros on the men's side now that same question, I'm not sure about 90 of them wouldn't say I'd rather hit passing shots. This may change some things. Rafter beats Chang here.
Hasn't hit many of them. That's only his third. A guy like Mark Philippoussis relies on a big serve to win him a point. He doesn't go for the serve-volley combo like Rafter does. But there's an old Aussie expression that fiery Fred Stolle, the great Aussie champion, so first to the net, first to the pub. That's what we do.
Again, a timely serve and ace. Number 9.
Advantage Rafter.
Michael wasn't too sure about this call. It did look like it skipped right off the line.
A game away from Greg Ruzetsky. Just how many of you, put your hands up, how many of you had Ruzetsky Rafter in the U.S. Open pool at the beginning of the fortnight?
Of course I did. They've only met 3 times, Rafter and Ruzetsky. And Rafter's won 2 of the 3 meetings, including last month in New Haven.
Twice in the last few months. Queens on grass, New Haven on this surface.
15.
First things first, he's got to finish off the number 2 seed, Michael Chang. If he were to beat Chang here in this 3rd set, you got to like Rafter over Ruzetsky at the moment, because Ruzetsky's struggling physically and just went off a 7-6 in the 5th. So Rafter would be the favorite going in tomorrow. after the ladies' final. Well, Chang hasn't actually served and volleyed, but he's done pretty much everything besides that. But Rafter is just so solid up there in net that doesn't intimidate him, that full swing Chang volley. It's an easy put away for Rafter.
And it must be nice to have the solace of the tactic if you're Patrick Rafter. He just wants to get it done at the net.
Point for Chang. Trying to hold serve and get one last shot at Rafter's serve.
From Patrick Rafter. He didn't know whether to bounce that ball or take it in the air. And once he took it in the air, it was a bit half-hearted.
He's tensing up as we speak, Mary, getting ready to try to serve this out.
Chang holds. Rafter will try to close out the match on his serve when we come back after this message and a word from their local station. Must come back from way down under.
well put. Crisply put. Michael Chang, here's his dilemma. He's had 8 break points against Patrick Rafter, 4 in this set alone. He has not yet broken the Aussie, who's serving for a place in the final.
John, Rafter felt a little tension in set 3 against Agassi.
He was up 2 sets, 4-1, lost 5 straight. So Chang clearly hoping he's going to tense up right here.
Yeah, it looked like he was on a path to a straight set victory in that match. 1-4.
That's a tight start right there.
4th double fault.
Love, 15.
Sonia Roche in the middle of the screen, Patrick Rafter's girlfriend.
He's utilized that serve into the body beautifully. Chang unable to get around it. Quick point to 15 all.
Two points away
30-15
from the match.
He just looks bigger, stronger, and almost as quick as Chang. He's dominated the number 2 seed. seen Michael Chang look disconsolate. Just sort of, that was a miss-hit return. Didn't seem to like make an effort at the next shot. Match point, Patrick Rafter.
Shakes hands with his two brothers, Mark Philippoussis as well, and Australia has its first finalist at the Open since Ken Rosewall in 1974.
Well, as Mary pointed out, Harry Hopman used to tell us, the guy that's closer to net's going to have the shot, and Patrick Rafter exploited that today.
Let's go down to Andrea Joyce. Andrea?
All right, Jim. Michael, this has been a very difficult tournament for you. You had back-to-back five-setters coming in. How much of an impact did that have on you today? Were you 100% physically?
I felt pretty good. You know, I think that physically I was feeling fine. You know, Patrick just came out and he played some tough tennis. I mean, you gotta give him credit. I think I had some opportunities, had some break points, and wasn't able to convert. And you know, I think
it was impossible to break today. You were 0-8 on break points.
Yeah, I had some opportunities, and you know, just wasn't able to get those few key points. But you know, Patrick's been playing some great tennis, and you know, obviously he played some great tennis today, and you know, hopefully he'll carry that on through until tomorrow.
You had talked the other day about the fact that Pete Sampras was out of the tournament, and that you felt some pressure once he was out, and that kind of affected your concentration during the quarterfinals. How about today?
You know, actually, I felt pretty good today. You know, I think that I played with a lot of peace out here. I felt like God's peace was with me, and you know, a lot of people praying for me back home, and you know, I felt good. I felt good coming out here, and you know, just wasn't meant to be. But you know, I'll continue to work at it, and you know, obviously tomorrow for either player, whoever wins, is going to be a wonderful time for them, and you know, wish both of them the best of luck. But you know, today is Patrick's day.
How tough is it going to be to beat him, though, tomorrow? I mean, he is playing so well, Mr. Rafter.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a great match. You know, obviously you got you know, two huge servers going against each other, and you know, Greg has been playing some great tennis all you know, past couple of weeks, and you're going to see a lot of great points tomorrow. It should be a great match.
Michael, as always, it's been a pleasure to watch you throughout the tournament. Thanks again. Thanks. Back to you, Pat.
All right, Andrea, thank you very much. So Patrick Rafter, there he is with his thoughts after advancing to the finals of the 1997 U.S. Open. Patrick McEnroe, last year he lost in the first round. What a difference a year makes.
Well, you're not kidding, Pat. And Patrick Rafter, really a new star in tennis now, coming on the scene, absolutely dominating Michael Chang today. You know, he's only won one tournament in his entire career. He's got a chance to win a little bit of a bigger one tomorrow.
We talk about new stars in tennis. For the next few minutes, we're going to talk ourselves about the new stars, because that's what it's about right now at the U.S. Open. New stars. Patrick Rafter is going to play tomorrow in the U.S. Open final against Greg Rosetsky. And then Venus Williams, who has really been the story of this tournament. When we come back, we're going to show you that great third set tiebreak. Great with her. And then we'll speak with Patrick Rafter. So all that is coming up here on CBS. A lot more tennis action when we come back.
Thank you.